for the next generation. Well, today's guest, Will and Dehavilland Ford, share a redemption story. I'm Sue Detweiler, host of Healing Rain, and my goal is to help you live with more passion, love with more purpose, and lead an overcoming life. I invite you to go to my website, suedetweiler.com, to download 5 Steps of Grace, a journey guide to freedom. Have you ever enjoyed hanging out with someone so much that your official time ended and you just kept talking? That's what happened after I finished interviewing Will and Dehavilland Ford from the last Healing Rain episode. Will has a now famous story of a kettle pot that was passed down from generation to generation. Listen to our conversation.
Well, I don't think she knows the kettle story, babe.
You don't know if let me I give you 1 minute to share this story. Maybe we do it another time for you. But in my family, Sue, I have a 200-year-old kettle pot. It was passed down to my family because it was
What
used by
is a kettle pipe?
kettle pot. Kettle
Oh,
pot.
like one of those great big cauldrons?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So it's passed down to my family because they use it for cooking, they use it for washing clothes, but secretly it was used for prayer. They had a slave master who would beat them if he heard them praying because he did not want them praying for freedom. So what they would do is they would take that kettle pot and they would turn it upside down,
Wow.
prop it up with rocks, so it'll be suspended off the ground about an inch or two, prostrate themselves on the ground and put their lips in between the openings so that the pot will muffle their voices as they prayed through the night. And the story they passed down
Wow.
is that they didn't think they would see freedom in their time, so they prayed for the freedom of their children in the next generation. So one day freedom comes, this young teenage girl, she decides to keep that pot and that story in our family. So she passed it down to her daughter, who passed it on to her son, William Ford Sr., to William Ford Jr., then to me, William III. So I've been taking that pot around the country since 2001 to talk about the prayer bowls in heaven. You know, uh, they use that pot as an acoustic means to get the prayers from being heard, but literally there's a prayer bowl that catches our prayer. So I've been talking about that. But then I had this dream in 2003, 2004 with Dr. King in it, where God dealt with me about my unforgiveness issues with the police and also with white people in my community. So Lou Engle, he asked me, he says, share that dream at the Lincoln Memorial. It'll be MLK Celebration Day 2005. Bring your pot, share your story. Well, there was a white guy who got led to that gathering because of a dream. He had a dream about Lou Engle. He had never met Lou before, wasn't part of any movements we were part of, prayer movement, or pro-life movement. So he comes to that event. We became friends. We've been friends for 17 years now. Well, fast forward, that white friend of mine about 6 years ago, he found out that the Civil War ended in his family's front yard. So we thought,
Wow.
what a cool coincidence. I have this kettle pot with slaves spray for freedom. You have this house where General Lee fought his last battle. Wow, what a cool coincidence. But then we stumbled on more research and we learned that it was his family who owned my family where the kettle pot came from.
Oh, and you have been friends.
Yep, for 10 years before
Oh,
we knew that.
God, such
And
a redeemer.
so we made it we meet the Lincoln Memorial on MLK Celebration Day at a prayer meeting at the place where Dr. King said in his "I Have a Dream" speech, "I have a dream that one day the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners would sit together to table of brotherhood." And so we wrote a book about it called "The Dream King: How the Dream of Martin Luther King is Being Fulfilled to Heal Racism in America." But we didn't get to the
Wow.
rest of that. I didn't get to that story until after
Right.
I had gone through all the healing that I needed to take place from going through the pain of all
So
that
tell
divorce
Sue
and
what you're
everything.
working on.
Yeah. So right now the story, Michael Landon Jr. and Brian Bird, they're working on producing a movie for us about the whole story.
Oh, praise God.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
that's something that needs to be reenacted, that
yeah.
redemption story.
It's powerful. I mean, not only is Matt's family the family where the Civil War ended in their front yard, his family is also the family that invented the Confederate flag. so
You're
through
kidding.
so through the same family where the flag of rebellion was raised up, the flag of surrender goes up in the front
Right.
yard because of
Right.
praying people. And then also in their family, yeah, he had slave owners, but he also had somebody who was an abolitionist that took a strong stand against slavery. He was a circuit rider who was a revivalist who traveled with Francis Asbury.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah,
Wow.
so he had, it's like all our families, we have generational curses, generational blessings. And it's like all our families, we have these dominating themes or storylines about families representing these generational curses, generational blessings. And that's what we think God is sharing and saying to America right now is this: what storyline do we want to be a part of?
Right.
The healing of the hurt, the blessing of the curse. What storyline we want to be
Right.
a part of?
And they share that at Upper Room, so I can
Yeah,
send you the
yeah. We shared it at the upper room.
last year
Yeah,
when all the racial
Mhm.
riots were breaking
yeah.
Right.
When
out.
Charlottesville
Right.
happened, we were there the
Yeah.
next day. We'd already
Mhm.
had it on the
Yeah.
schedule. I'll send you a link to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow, there are like so many connections to passions. It's like there's something, I want us to keep this friendship. I'm not sure how, you get so spread thin, I've got 6 children and 7 grandchildren. The 7th one's on the way. So I was just in Nashville last night at, one of my daughters. Um, and so, I mean, our lives are so spread thin. So this is what I commit to you. Anytime the Lord puts you on my hearts, I'm going to be right there. Um, and there's something about it. I feel like I want to promote Jesus, right? But
Mhm.
I also want to promote other people that are carrying Jesus. And you guys are carrying Jesus.
Thank you,
Oh,
thank
thank you
you,
so
thank
much,
you.
You
Sue.
just
Thank
are.
you.
What's your main prayer request? I mean, where's it hard right now? I mean, you stepped out in faith. It's easier to have a job, that you have steady income coming in, sometimes. Where's your prayer place?
My prayer place, just staying focused on, getting this movie out. Matt and I, we're both executive producers with these guys on this project. But now that COVID's kind of lifting a bit, so now they're trying to pick up where they left off on other projects, which is fine. That's great.
Mhm.
But I just feel like we're in the time,
Yeah.
and they're feeling the same thing too. Like we
Yeah.
can't let this be a back burner kind of thing.
Right.
And so just that the momentum keeps going with getting
Yeah.
the project out. We're gonna do a documentary, fully featured documentary first. That's the plan. So just be praying about that.
Yeah.
Nothing hinders that, and that's really my one of my main focuses right now. Uh,
Is that movie and the completion of it,
Yeah.
both the
yeah,
documentary and the movie.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How
yeah,
about you, De Havilland? What's your main?
Of course, our family, just for
hmm
grace to do it all. The Lord told me you were made to do the hard things. And I'm like, okay, God, just managing the home, traveling. I'm getting more open doors, of course, with speaking and stuff, maintaining this,
fire.
this, and just really we have a team, we have an assistant, and we have 2 team members. We're about to host a big gathering in August. So we just need help. We need grace. We need,
Mhm.
of course, resources, but just just the right team and
Focus.
Yeah, right
focus.
What
focus.
are
The
you
right
doing
focus.
in August? What are you guys doing?
We do a gathering called 818 The Sign. We've done it at our church, which is Trinity in Cedar Hill. We've done it for the last 3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
And it's been really successful. We go after all these topics, but this year we're going to go talk on women preachers,
We're gonna
and
go after that
we're going
hard.
to do a whole solemn assembly geared towards women on that Saturday. And so it's under 818 The Sign. This one, that we call She Is the Sign. So that Saturday, that's what we're going after. We get about 500, 600, maybe, not a major crowd of
500 to
people,
700.
but with COVID and all, we're trying to navigate through that and all that it takes on to put the gathering on. So my heart is just Lord, help us to do what you want us to, just grace to do all, and home, kids and life and all that
How
stuff.
old are the kids?
6 and 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we got to pick them up. Like when we get off with you, I'm going to
You got to
go
go get them. Yeah.
get them from
Yeah.
school and, navigate through mom life and then preaching this weekend. And so you know how it is. So you have 6, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. But they're
been
all
there,
grown. But
yeah,
we did ministry as a family our whole
yeah.
lives.
You remember those stages.
Oh,
So
I do. You're actually in a pretty nice window. 6 and 8's a pretty nice window for kids. You got some tough
yeah.
stuff ahead, but then it gets even better.
Come on.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's really wonderful for me now, because now my daughters just think I'm a hero, They're having babies. So, boy, it's like, oh God, the
Oh,
seeds are coming to fruition. Thank you. And they are great parents.
That's awesome.
Oh, I know. And they have great marriages. Thanks for being a part of Healing Rain today as you listened in to an after-hours conversation with Will and Dehavilland Ford. I was so amazed by the detail of what Jesus did in bringing about redemption to a former slave family and a former slave owner. God cares about relationships, and God desires to heal the racial divide, and God is able to bring healing to systematic sin that only He knows how to bring redemption. So if you're praying for something, don't give up. Keep going. As we close today, I want to encourage you to go to their 2 websites, willfordministries.com and a new website called 818thesign.org, and find out about some upcoming events that Will and Dehavilland are putting on in Dallas, Texas. Just know that if you've been listening to Healing Rain, that we're praying for you. And we're praying for you to never, 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 never give up.